This is a Rogue Media Network production.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas.
Hey there, everybody. We are
back.
Man, I was telling you, like, it feels like it's been a month of Sundays, trying to get back to this thing.
It does feel like it's been a while, but we're here. Took a minute.
Oh my gosh, there's been kids, and there's been sicknesses, and there's been check engine lights, and there's been people moving.
It's just been up and down.
Holy crap! Yeah, you went to the ocean, so there was that.
I went to the ocean.
All right, so we are at season 8, episode 18, or in the year of our Lord 8 ABE 16. So only a couple off, and this one is entitled "Girl, You'll Be a Giant Soon."
Oh, okay.
Now that is a
it is a reference.
Yeah, it's a song reference, and I can't remember what song it is. Now this, I
can tell you the song.
Tell me.
Well, I already had it. I can tell you the song and the artist. So the artist is Neil Diamond, and the song is "Girl, You Will Be a Woman. You'll Be a Woman Soon."
Which is creepy as hell if you really think about it. That's not a great title.
Absolutely creepy, and cat scratch fever. He's creepy too.
Same club. Yeah, same club, I believe.
Same club. Yeah.
This aired originally April 25th, 2004. Luann joins.
Oh wow! What was that again? What was the date on that?
April 25th, 2004.
April 25th, 2004. I was a 13-year-old, just coming up off of Easter. I guess Easter probably would have been around that time.
Yeah, probably. All right. This is Luann joins forces with Hank to protest a propane ban at the Texas State Fairground Grill Off, and Peggy goes to extreme lengths to gain access to a laundry room where an infamous murder took place. I do like the B story with her.
Yeah, I got the story for that. So, so Peggy, she wants to visit. Well, we'll find out what it's actually called. It's called the Baxter Death Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
So the Baxter Death Mansion, they believe it to be inspired by there was a murder of a guy and a woman called Daniel and Linda Broderick by Daniel's ex-wife Betty. So similar to the Baxter story, which we'll find out more about that obviously once we get into it. Sure. Betty had worked to put Daniel through medical school early in their marriage, and then later on he left her for the younger assistant, and she was pissed about that. So she came back in the middle of the night and killed them both while they were asleep. Yikes. So in this story, Betty was portrayed by Meredith Baxter in Lifetime film about her crime, which is where the name of the mansion may have come from.
Okay. All right. That's pretty nice. Meredith Baxter Burney?
Yeah, I believe so. Is that an actress?
She was the one that was in Family Ties, I believe.
Yeah. So she portrayed Betty in that film, and they think that the obviously the writer of this episode is Dan McGrath. Dan McGrath wrote 2 in season 7, Full Metal Dust Jacket and Be True to Your Fool, but he also worked on season 8, Living on Reds, Vitamin C and Propane, and Girl, You'll Be a Giant Soon, obviously. And then he does some episodes in 9, 11, 12, and 13, just like one or two to a season. But he worked on The Simpsons, Saturday Night Live, Gravity Falls, and Mission Hill. So the Saturday Night Live and The Simpsons thing kind of explains where he ties into King of the Hill, because since he worked on The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live, he probably knew Greg Daniels.
Yeah.
and probably had a relationship with him, and that's how he was able to get it. I don't know. That's just my speculation.
Yeah, you would
But
think so. I mean, general, if they
yeah,
run in the
yeah.
same circle there, you know?
Oh, absolutely. And even if it's like alumni and he's like a
Mhm.
younger guy and Greg
Yeah.
Daniels is alumni from The Simpsons and Saturday Night Live, it all ties into everybody knows each other kind of thing. So he did get a nominee, I meant to say nominated for an Emmy. He was
Sure.
nominated for an Emmy. Oh my gosh, an Emmy for his work on Saturday Night Live, and then he ended up winning an Emmy also for The Simpsons, and then was
Wow.
nominated for a Writers Guild Award for the King of the Hill episode, Life, A Loser's Manual, which is a season 12 episode.
Okay. All right. Well, this guy is well decorated then. All right. So
Yeah, good writer.
we start at the Texas State Fair. And if you don't know anything about the Texas State Fair, it's a big deal. It goes for what, a
Big
month
Tex.
or something
Yeah.
like that? I mean, it goes on
Yeah,
for a while. It's
a
in
while.
Dallas. Yeah. Big Tex, who Big Tex caught fire one time. You remember that when he was on fire?
Yeah, I think they recently renovated him too or something.
They had to renovate him. He's got the giant boots and he's got he's always like this and he's telling you where everything's at the state fair and he's announcing things and
Yeah, what's crazy about that? So, a little bit of history on Big Tex himself. So, the birthplace of Big Tex is a place called Cairns, Texas.
okay.
His original incarnation was like a 49-foot tall Santa Claus.
Oh.
So Big Tex was originally something else and then fabricated into something else and then like reutilized and stuff like that. So he was actually originally so what it was is the manager of the Chamber of Commerce wanted to have like encourage people to come in for the holidays to the town and holiday sales.
Sure.
So they threw up the world's largest Santa Claus. So that was him. He was for 2 holiday seasons, he was the world's largest Santa Claus. And it was such a big deal that it drew press attention from like Iran. This is like the 40s. This is like 1949, 1950, around that time. 51 around there. So it got huge press attention from like Iran and Australia and like all kinds of other places and stuff. And it was actually modeled after a guy in town called Otis Franklin Spurlock, for whatever
Wow.
reason.
Okay.
And so the people built it together and it was there for 2 seasons and the excitement kind of died down. And now you just got this big ass Santa Claus all year round in town. And people are like, well, what are y'all going to do with this? So in 51, the president of the state fair, his name was R.L. Thornton. What he ended up doing is he purchased all because it was all in pieces at that time. And he purchased it all and he only paid $750 for Big Tex. So he had hired a artist to come in and transform the Santa Claus now into a cowboy. So in 1952, he made his debut dressed in denim and a plaid shirt, donated by a company called the H.D. Lee Company, which was based out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. So the photograph of the face on it is actually the face of the artist, a photograph of a rancher named Doc Simmons and Will Rogers. So he kind of took those three he took those 3 faces, the artist did, his own face, Doc Simmons' face, and Will Rogers, and made them and kind of like altered them, made them into one
kind of an amalgamation
face.
of the 3.
Yeah, to get a unique face out of it. And in the next year after that, he began speaking. So Big Tex before didn't make any noise, and then a year after that, in 1953, they put a speaker box on him so he could speak, and it was like a 75-watt speaker system in his head, and they had a way to make his jaw swing and stuff like that.
Wow.
So that's his early history.
Let me share a little thing here real quick. There's Big Tex on fire.
Yeah, that incident. I don't want to give you the whole history of him because I could be here all day, but I'll tell this incident real fast. So this incident was on the 60th birthday of Big Tex. So his 60th birthday was around October of 2012. So it was on the final weekend of the state fair, and there was a fire that started in the framework. The figure's clothing, his face, and his hat just went up in flames in an instant, and it was an electrical panel under his right boot that powers the air compressor that keeps the clothing inflated.
Holy crap.
That caught on fire. So they actually created a new Big Tex. So the Big Tex that's there now is
Oh, it's not the same
completely
one?
reconstructed. No, sadly enough,
Oh,
they rebuilt Big Tex, and they might
wow.
from what it says here, uh, they created him in 2013. Cost $500,000. It cost it was 19,000 pounds, or for anybody that's listening that uses the metric system, it was 8,618.3 kilograms, which was more than the previous version, bringing
Wow.
him to a total of 25,000 pounds. Again, for Europeans and other people in the world, it's 11,339 kilograms, but it allowed him to withstand 100-mile-an-hour winds without needing support wires. So before, they would have to if it was bad weather,
Mhm,
they would have to go
mhm.
in and put support
Yeah,
wires and like pin
yeah.
him to the ground. But the way they constructed him and everything, they made it to where he didn't need anything up to 100 miles an hour. They increased his height by a yard to, or so, increased by 1 yard. Oh, yeah, they made him, a little bit taller, like 55 feet tall, which is
Mhm.
16.8 meters, and then, they made the circle, like, everything near him there, so they kinda just, like, just redid the whole, like, area around him and everything like that,
Yeah.
and, what he does is he goes, "Howdy, folks." That's like he does that, like, all
Yeah,
day
yeah,
long,
yeah.
and, the first voice of that was actually a disc jockey from WRRF FM 101.1, which is like a station around that area,
Yeah.
and a guy named Al Jones, they brought him in. He was like the first voice for Big Tex, and then there was, a well-known voice, he did it from 1956 to 1982. His name was Jim Lowe. He was a popular radio announcer in that
Mhm.
area. And then a guy named Bob Sonamaker stepped in for 4 years, and then Lowe came back, and he did it till 1998. And they had a guy named Dan Alexander, and then there was a guy named Sonny Ray Saltz, and he used to do something at the Cotton Bowl. He was something to do
Yeah.
with the Cotton Bowl, but now they have a guy named Bill Bragg, I think, that does it. So what they ended up doing is they they had a competition, and it was at the Cotton Bowl where they did it. So they had one guy that was like the guy that was supposed to come do it, but he only did a season, and then he said he wasn't being treated fairly, so they brought in the runner up after him.
You would
And
think there's only so many things that Big Tex could say, you know?
yeah, no, it's crazy to me
Oh.
that there's that much lore behind a
Mhm,
gigantic metal figure that's in the
mhm.
sky. There's it's crazy how many places Big Tex has also been used in, like, pop culture and stuff
Oh,
like that
sure.
too.
Well,
He's been used all over the place.
it's kinda like that little Big Boys kid, you know, the one from the burger place with
Yeah.
the red and white checkered thing. You see them all over the place. The reason I left this up is, I did not know that you could make a flower arrangement out of corn dogs, but that's what that is. It's a corn dog arrangement with
Oh,
flowers
yeah, yeah,
around
yeah,
it, which I
yeah.
thought was pretty nice.
Big Tex actually showed up in another episode. I don't know if you remember this one, and this one's cool because it was written by Paul Lieberstein,
Okay.
Toby.
Yeah.
So Paul Lieberstein wrote this episode, and it also had Angela Kinsey as
Oh,
a
wow.
guest star as a voice on it, and also had Wallace Shawn also in a voice
Which
in
one
this
is that?
episode. It was season 5, episode 1, Father Son Fun Shoot Competition.
Okay.
It's when Bobby displays the talent for the target shooting, and Hank and
Oh,
signs
yeah.
them both up,
That's with the
and then
shaky
Hank
gun, right?
can
Yeah.
shoot,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Huh.
So that was, so Tex is in that one, and they say he says something. I don't remember that, but
I think it's
he
in
says
the
hello or something
vision
like
that he
that.
has, right? Like the dream or whatever, where he's
Yeah.
I
Yeah, because
think it's
Big
in
Tex
that.
says howdy to him. Big Tex
Yeah,
says howdy to him, I'm pretty sure,
yeah.
yeah. Uh,
Well,
oh, yeah.
we start this one with Hank and Bobby going into the state fair. We've been going for 14 minutes, and we're starting with the first scene.
Yeah, that's my fault. Yeah, I had a lot of
No, it's
lot of
good.
fun facts.
It was all
Yeah, some
very
good
good
fun
stuff.
facts.
I I have always my buddy Casey and I we talk about Big Tex all the time, but as in he comes to life at night and squashes things. So, all right, so we start this by Hank and Bobby going into the state fair, and what we end up finding out here is that Hank has always wanted to be part of like the barbecue cook-off, right, at the
Yeah,
state
yeah,
fair.
yeah.
And so we see the guy up top putting the welcome to the State Fair of Texas up. There's only 10 more days until opening day. There's a big banner. Hank and Bobby, like I say, are walking in. They're raising up Big Tex. And Hank says, son, look, there's Big Tex. He's like the Grand Canyon and the Statue of Liberty rolled into one. Bobby says, he seems kind of tough, but kind. I don't know how you get that out of Big Tex, but he goes,
I don't get it.
He goes, yep, he always tells us what to do and see and eat. I've gotten better advice from him than my own father. Well, yeah, no shit. Your father's cotton. So Big Tex says, right on cue, howdy, folks. Howdy, howdy. And then there you realize there's a guy inside because it kind of squelches. Check. Howdy. So now we're at the grill off booth. So they've made it in and they're ready to register for the grill off. And Hank says, wow, I'm finally entering the grill off. It's just like in my dreams, except in the dream, I'm wearing Tom Landry's hat. And there's a guy at the booth and he goes, excuse me, sir, you have 2 different boxes for charcoal, mesquite, and hickory, but I don't see a box on your entry for grilling with propane. The guy's like, because you can't use gas at a grill off. Charcoal only. He says, choice of sauce. Starting this year, bacon counts as a sauce. Bacon counts as a sauce.
Bacon counts as a sauce.
He says, sir.
I wonder if that's like chopped bacon with jam, like bacon jelly jam.
Maybe. That stuff is good, by the way. It's very, very tasty.
It's really good, yeah.
He says, sir, I choose to enter this contest grilling with propane. It's not a sales ploy. It's what I prefer. He goes, well, it's the charcoal competition. Always has been. Why don't you take your gas and go fill up your balloons or whatever you do with it and leave the grilling to the pros? Well, that pisses Hank off.
That's got to piss him off a lot. Yeah, I thought that was funny. Why'd you take gas and go fill up some balloons?
Some balloons, buddy.
That's a good line. Yeah.
I got really bad really quick. Anyway, Hank is pissed off in the truck and they're driving back home. And he's 2 boxes of charcoal, Bobby. 2 boxes. It's madness. Bobby says, I know that really boils me, makes me want to. I got to level with you, Dad. I've just been picturing myself on the roller coaster the whole time you were talking. It's like, whee! All right. So now we're at the Hill House. We got Luann in the living room and she's on the phone. She's obviously talking to one of those people that calls you when there's election coming near. She goes, if the election were held today, I would vote for nobody. I know that elections don't happen today. They happen on Tuesdays in months ending in November. Why do you? She pauses. She goes, why do you want to talk to my mother? Well, because they think you're a child. Now we're in the kitchen. Peggy is pouring coffee. We've got Peggy, Min, and Nancy in there. And Nancy is reading from the paper. And she goes, you know, if I ever win the lotto, I'm going to buy this house, knock it down, and build this house on top of it. Luann comes in. She goes, I am so sick of people calling and asking to speak with the woman of the house and then treating me like the baby of the house. Peggy's like, now, Luann, let's not be the crybaby of the house. Then Nancy comes back around. Oh my God, look at this. The Baxter Death Mansion is on the market. Peggy says, the scene of Arlen's most notorious crime of passion. Min says, also the most exciting murder to ever happen in a laundry room. So now we've been told that it's not only a murder house, it's the Baxter house. It happened in the laundry room, right? So that's very important. Luann says, oh yeah, I remember the handsome millionaire and his girlfriend were eloping to Switzerland, but they were tragically stopped by that crazy old woman with the bad hair and her gun. Peggy's like, Luann, that crazy old woman was his wife, the one who put him through medical school. She's
yeah.
Min says, why don't you go play with someone your own age? Hey, Connie babysitting an 8-year-old, give him a shot. And they just laugh. And honestly, that's a pretty crappy way to treat Luann.
That is a crappy way to treat her.
Well, you got to know that Luann's already, just come in. You're fine. Hey, everybody, look, it's Zach.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, it's Zach. So she says,
come on in, Zach. Give my mic.
Yeah, he needs one. And so they all kind of giggle. Luann leaves. She's pissed off. And then Peggy, not giving it a second thought, says, oh my God, it's an open house. Ladies, get ready to see 5 sunny bedrooms, eat-in kitchen, and murder. So they're going to go see the murder house. Now, I got to tell you, there was a, and this is for real, there was a murder house down I-35 from me for a very long time. It was a beautiful house right on the side, on the access road over there. Looked like it could have been maybe about half an acre or something. It was kind of built like a barn, just a beautiful red and with white accents and things on it, like a barn would be.
Yeah.
And they were renovating this house. This is many, many years ago, but they were renovating this house. And in the midst of the renovation, somebody murdered somebody in that house.
Yeah.
And so that house just sat there forever and ever and ever. And every time I went by it, I thought of it as the murder house because you could just see it getting more and more dilapidated, things happening. They finally tore it down, but I really kind of felt a sense of loss because I couldn't see the murder house when I drove by anymore. I really should have gone up and gone inside, but
Yeah, I got a murder house story for you. So, when I was a kid, I used to go to a little town called Normandy, and I would hang out with my it was my friend that I would go down there with, and his grandparents lived there. Well, his aunt and uncle, they lived like it's just like some dirt roads you take, and you end up in a little resort town called Hilltop Lakes, which
Okay.
is off of like Highway 3 or whatever it is out here in like rural Texas.
Sure.
Going towards like Bryan College Station area is where it's like in the Brazos River Valley. And well, we would stay at his aunt and uncle sometimes. Well, his aunt told us the story of the house, and we were all, it was like a spooky day. We were watching like horror movies and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
she started to tell us the story of the house that she was living in. There was a murder, suicide in the house, and what ended up happening is the guy had killed his wife, killed his kids in one of the bathrooms, and then killed the family pets in the other bathroom, and then hung himself in the living room over where the couch sat.
My God.
It was a resort town. The house now has been completely renovated and ripped apart, but it was kind of spooky to hear that story. And
I
then
would
now you gotta
imagine.
now you got to go to sleep on the couch, like you're
Yeah,
looking up
yeah,
right where
enjoy.
you're like, oh my gosh, this is where he was swinging from. Now I got to go to sleep.
There's a leak. Yeah. Yeah, that would be freaky as a kid. All right, so we go outside and we've got the guys out there at the fence, and you hear yep, and then propane is excluded from the Texas State Fair. And he's still very, very angry, right? He's giving them the what for, and he's like, Boomhauer.
Absolutely.
And then you hear Boomhauer just go, He goes, Boomhauer, are you insane? I just told you they excluded propane. You two, first Bobby, and now you guys. Where's the outrage? Rules are rules, Hank. Without rules, there'd be chaos. That's why we no longer visit the public pool. That's I can understand that.
Yeah. I'm not a
every
public pool
time-
guy at all.
I tell you what, yeah, no, it's just a piss pot. But every time I
That's
think of
all
a
it
public
is, literally.
every time I think of a public pool, I just think of a Baby Ruth, because Caddyshack is always going to be in my blood. That
Public pool. I got a public pool story. So we're at a
Yeah.
hotel for my friend's birthday. His mom works at the hotel. His little sister shit in the pool, so everybody had to get out of the pool. So we all had there's like
I'm
a
telling you,
turd
Zach
floating
enjoyed
in the
that one.
friggin' pool.
That was good.
Yeah, we were at his birthday party. We were young. We were all like, I was probably like 10 or 11. His sister must have been probably like 4, maybe. She was real little, and
sitting there floating,
she had an
playing
accident and shit in the
chicken.
pool. Yeah.
And then just bloop, there it comes. All right, so he is outraged, and he goes, but this is blatantly unfair. And then Bill joins in, and Bill is not on his side. He's like, yeah, poor Hank with his wife and his son and his hair. Nobody will let him grill with propane. And I mean, honestly, that's a long way for Bill because he doesn't normally do that to Hank. Normally he's like,
yeah.
oh, he's 100,000% on side with Hank. But this time he's like,
Yeah, Hank's
you
usually
got it
his
so
big buddy,
good.
yeah.
So
Well, I
Hank's
think I think too also like the whole propane thing or whatever, it's not a challenge to cook with propane in the sense of
it's true.
like charcoal, because you can control every aspect of
Yeah.
what you're doing. With
Yeah.
charcoal, you gotta be really good at the fire building and maintaining your fire and
Oh, sure.
maintaining your charcoal and
Hot spots, all of that kind of
hot
stuff.
spots,
Yeah.
all that
Mhm.
kind of stuff.
Yeah. No, it does take, I think, some
It's an
more.
art, guys. Texas
It
barbecue
is.
is an art. You can't
I
just
think
go
it
out
takes-
there with a bag of charcoal and dump it in a barbecue pit and think that you're gonna have good results. You got to really you got to do it right.
I have never been like I used to do charcoal and stuff, a while back. It's been a long time since
Yeah.
I've cooked outside, but I used to use charcoal, and then I got a gas grill, and I'm like, I don't know why I'm wasting my time on this charcoal stuff.
I do both
Yeah.
charcoal wood. So I'll start off with like charcoal or whatever to get it going real
Yeah.
good, and then I'll feed wood into it, and then
Yeah.
I'll smoke the wood.
That's bad for your lungs.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
now we're at Strickland. We're at lunch with all the workers sitting around, and Hank is still going off about it. Who's going to show me some rage? Dang it. I should be calming you people down, telling you there's no need for violence. And he's just pissed everywhere he goes. Because
I should be calming you people
yeah, I
down,
should be
telling you
calming
there's
you
no
guys
need
down.
for violence. Hey, man, it's just propane, Hank. Chill out.
It is just propane, but it is his life.
It is.
All right.
Yeah, you're right.
So the girls are in the car, they're leaving, and Hank's trying to talk to Peggy in the car, and she's like, yeah, of course, charcoal, propane. Hank, it's just a rule. I would never teach Italian in my Spanish class, even though they're practically the same language. Gotta go. And they drive off. I mean, she's just like, see ya, buddy.
Wrong. See
Yeah.
ya.
All right. Bobby and Connie are in the front yard, and they're just spinning around talking about the state fair. Bobby's like, to really get ready for the tilt-a-whirl, I should have eaten a few corn dogs first. Connie says, if you want it to feel like a tilt-a-whirl, you got to tilt and snap your head around. And they're just spinning and stuff. Luann, still feeling like she's the baby of the house, she comes out the door and she goes, children, stop that. Play nicely. And Bobby's like, what are you talking about, Luann? We're not doing anything. She goes, don't you sass me, young man. I am your elder, and I am to be treated with respect. And they just laugh at her. And then
Yeah,
she
got
gets even
tired of being
more
called a
sad.
child. That's what it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
She gets even more sad and has to go off. Now we're pulling up to the murder house. This is it is an open house put on by Arlen Realty, which and then all three of the girls pull up, and Peggy says, "Wow, if you're going to be butchered by a spurned wife, this would be the place to do it." They walk into the house, and the realtor is like, any questions, ladies? She goes, no, that's okay. We're just going to take a quick look around. Thank you. She goes, oh, I'm afraid we're only showing the house to potential buyers. No looky-loos. I hate that word. No looky-loos.
I like this line right here. If you want a rubberneck, there's
She
a
goes, if
pile
you
up
want-
out on Highway
If
183.
you want a rubberneck, there's a pile up out on Highway 183. Peggy's
That's
like,
good.
looky-loos. She goes, thanks for coming. And then as the door is starting to shut, the lady is starting to shut the door, she sees Ted Wasana song in there, and you hear, super, just super. I could see my family very happy here. Oh, wait, there is one potential deal breaker. Is there a laundry room? And the lady goes, is there a laundry room? And then she shuts the door on the girls. And Peggy says, we have got to come back. If we do not get to see that laundry room, then the victim will have died in vain.
Such
is
a
going on.
shit. Yeah, such
It's
a
going
such an
a
asshole
long
thing
ways
to say.
there, Peggy.
Yeah.
All right. Hank is outside. He's grilling, and it's just him and Ladybird out there. And the grill is just full of burgers. So you think that there's something going on, right? He says,
Yeah.
smell that, girl. Is this the smell of second-class heat source? I mean, he's still pissed, right? And then he gives every damn burger on the grill to Ladybird. Like, he's just like, here you go. He's just occupying his time and just
Oh
almost,
yeah.
he's worshiping at
Wasting-
the altar.
You could so I think this episode right here really kind of gives you a brief view of the state of the economy at that time. A man could fill his grill with burgers and
Yep.
cook them all up and then just
Yep.
scoop them to the floor to his dog just to waste time.
That's right.
That's where we're at.
I
Make
watched
America
something-
90s again.
I watched something last night where they were talking about the economy, and there was a guy, I think it was like North Carolina, South Carolina, one of those two, and he was in front of the camera and he said $30 for hamburger meat, and I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh my
Oh, a
god,
round to like 5 pound round was like almost $50. Yeah, it was
that's
crazy.
crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it
Money
was
means
insane.
nothing now. Money means absolutely
No,
nothing unless you
nothing.
need it.
And it sucks because like once as a middle-aged man, once you finally get to the point where you're all the money's good, you're
Mhm.
making like triple what your
Yeah.
parents were making, and then you're looking, you're like, well, damn, that dollar don't
Yeah.
go no way near
That's
where
right,
it needs
that's
to.
right. Yeah, I mean, I knew we were in for something when my house tripled in value almost in the last 15 years, and yet I can't get any money out of it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
because if I go anywhere else, it's going to cost me as much or even more.
As much. Yeah, like,
So
we're looking at houses right now, and,
Yeah.
a house that was built in 1951 is $220,000 house.
Yeah. California has certainly come here. All right, so he's out there grilling for Lady Bird. He just pushes all the burgers off to Lady Bird's bowl. Then he fills it up and starts cooking some more burgers. Luann comes by and she goes, "Who's all this food for?" He goes, "I don't even know anymore. No one cares." She goes, "Why not? It smells so good." "Exactly. That's because you're smelling the food. See, if this were charcoal, all you'd smell is that dang smoke." She goes, "I hate smoke. It makes my mouth taste like I kissed a guy who smokes." Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, all right.
She says,
Fair
"Not that
enough.
you know what it is like to kiss a guy." "Well, no, some guys do, just not you." He goes, "Well, no, not me, but I see exactly what you're saying. You prefer a cleaner burning fuel." She goes, "That's what I was saying, and you agree with me?" He goes, "God dang right I do. You know what, Luann? You just earned yourself a burger. Go ahead and pick one out." And he hands her the spatula. And so she's like, "Oh, finally somebody's listening to me," even
Yeah.
if it is about stupid burgers or whatever. Now, later, they're on the back porch, and Hank has finally found somebody who will listen to him, and Luann has finally found somebody who semi-respects her, and so they're having a conversation. He said, "And that's why I decided to go with State Farm." What an intriguing story you're telling there, Hank. You're telling
Yeah.
what
Whoa.
home insurance you picked. She goes, "Wow, that is such a serious grown-up conversation. I'm so tired of everybody treating me like a child just because I live at home and always have to bum rides. I should be taken seriously." "Well, of course you should. It's just like those people at the fair who won't take propane seriously." She goes, "You know what? I say we go down to that fair and we set up a propane grill right across from those stinky charcoal grills. Let the people see what they're missing." Hank says, "You mean like some sort of crazy protest grill? That's not the kind of thing I normally go in for." She says, "But they're pushing around propane, and propane doesn't have arms to push back with." That's a hell of a sentence.
That's a good one, yeah.
He goes, "Luann, I'm in." She goes, "We're a team. I want to celebrate. Toss another bucket of propane on the fire." It's just such a great line.
That's a good
He
one,
goes,
yeah.
"Luann, maybe I should get you some brochures." And that takes us to our first commercial break.
Commercial
Hank and Luann are teaming up, and we will be back real soon. Let's see, my mouse has stopped working here, so I will be using my finger. And here we go.
And we'll be right back.
Join the Daily High Club, the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and accessories. Since 2015, we've sold over 1 million quality products and teamed up with legends like Snoop Dogg and Tommy Chong. Ready to elevate your smoking game? Visit dailyhighclub.com for our El Primo subscription box or shop unique pieces today.
Discover the world of luxury sex toys at Luxury Toy X and indulge in the ultimate pleasure experience. For years, we have been dedicated to the belief that sexuality and wellness are essential components of a happy and healthy life. With over 70,000 satisfied customers, we take pride in our ability to provide products that enhance your sexual well-being. Join our community of satisfied customers and unlock a world of pleasure and self-discovery. Visit luxurytoyx.com today.
Apollo Neuro is a new kind of wearable that helps your body recover from stress, that helps you calm down and feel better. You sleep better, and you can get back to being yourself. Learn more at apolloneuro.com.
I'm Hunter, the founder of Hello Cake, and today we're digging into ED meds. The number one thing we hear is that guys are sick of waiting for ED meds to kick in. Traditional ED meds take about an hour to kick in as they have to go through your digestive system, where Hello Cake's ED medication dissolves under your tongue and works in about 15 minutes. That's about 3 times faster than traditional ED medication. Curious about ED meds? Go to hellocake.com.
Relax with Hemp Delicious. Organically grown hemp, massively blended with delicious organic herbs, responsibly sourced for their holistic benefits. Each sip offers calming, antioxidant-rich wellness. Brewed just for you. Sip the calm with Hemp Delicious. Find your blend at hempdelicious.com.
Baby girl, were you staring at me? You know that's not convincing, right? Try again. Well, you shouldn't just be staring then. You should taste.
I miss your presence, your laughter.
Hey,
What in the fuck was that commercial? I've never seen that one before.
the juicy AI chat. Yeah,
that made me laugh.
Baby girl, you need to look at me, or whatever he says. Okay.
Well, I used Claude here recently to create an RPG game.
Oh,
so like a tabletop RPG that it'll play out like in Claude, and I control like just one character, and it controls all the other characters in the story or whatever else. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent, Rusty. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I'd like to see that.
And I made it to where it only gives me like I made it to where it gives me clickable options. So like I don't really like control the whole narrative like you would in a tabletop game, but it gives me 5 options based on whatever scenario it gives me to like. It's like a choose your own adventure, I guess, more than. But
is it all text or does it show you things also?
It'll show you stuff, and I actually did another one too, like a separate one where it was just random. I don't know. It was like I said I'm an Estonian military commander and I'm being invaded by Portugal. Like, let's turn this into. I prompted it to turn it into like an RPG style game, and it presents me with problems, and then I got to come up with like some solutions and stuff. And then now it's like this. I've been doing it for a few hours, like probably more than a few, probably close to like 7 or 8 hours. I've been like at night, like it's like a game. So it's kind of like almost like a video game. It's got pretty cool. So it's like it's become more of like a diplomatic like military strategy thing where it'll give me like, all right, well you have this many troops and you have this and you have this, and then now Portugal's attacking you, and it's like Portugal has a better military than Estonia, and they have F-35s and all this. So then you do like then you have to go to NATO, and you have to ask for NATO's involvement in Portugal's infringing on your sovereignty. It's pretty cool, man. How
that's amazing.
Claude that I've been using for that. The Claude AI.
I've been using.
It seems
Gemini.
like everything's getting good out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been using Gemini, and I built the network. I built us a new booking system. And
I remember you saying something about that. How's that going?
Yeah, it actually turned out really well.
Is it already like in operation?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm also populating a new web page for us, and so I want to roll them all out at the same time.
I got you. Yeah. It makes sense.
But it's actually been I don't know why I got Australian there for a second, but it has actually been very fun, which I didn't think it would be, but doing this and solving
talking to an AI bot.
That's what I'm saying. I did that the other day. I literally spent about 7-8 hours on there, and I kind of like the typing rather than saying it out loud because I feel crazy when I do that. But just solving one little thing at a time. That's the most fun for me.
Well, that's the cool thing about that diplomacy military strategy one that I have going, is that it will create PDF files of government documents or like whatever. If I have a speech I had to give in front of the UN or whatever, it'll show me the speech that it populates for me or whatever. So it'll give me like a tangible things. And then sometimes it'll even very rough animation, just squares and circles, but it'll animate some of the scenes. So like it animated like Portugal's air invasion. And I mean, it's just very simple, basic drawings. Yeah. But Claude AI has really impressed me as far as like all the other AIs that I've used.
Casey.
Claude. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No,
Claude AI is the AI that they're using with some other. I can't remember what other deal it was. It's Claude and something else. That's what the United States government is using to select targets in Iran, and that's what when I first read that Claude AI. So I went to Claude AI to ask Claude AI, "Hey, are you really being utilized to bomb Iran?" It said no, and I copied the article headline and I said, "Well, explain this headline," and then Claude corrected itself and was like, "Oh, well, yes, I am being used by the United States." I was like, okay, all right.
You have to ask specifically. It has to be
you
invited
have to force
your house
to admit it. Yeah.
All right, so we are in the garage, and Hank is welding grills together.
Yes,
He is making a super grill. She comes out, or Luann comes out and goes, "What are you doing, Uncle Hank?" He goes, "What I've done is married the cold precision of the Wagner Char King with the fiery passion of the Hoffman Meatmeister." Just love the name of that grill, the Hoffman Meatmeister.
Oh, the Hoffman Meatmeister.
Oh, that's so good. I may have avoided all the warranties, but I don't even care. She goes, "Look out, charcoal. It's Super Grill." Yeah, I can make a poster with Super Grill wearing a cape and saving people everywhere with his magic rainbow of meats. He says,
Oh, it's
well,
kind of funny. It's kind of funny. The Hoffman Meatmeister. I just plugged it into Google to see what would pop up. Apparently, there's a deer processing facility named Hoffman's Deer Processing.
Oh, there you
in
go.
Woodway. In Woodway.
Oh,
There
in
you go.
Woodway. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
She says she's gonna make a poster with this grill wearing a cape and saving people with his magic rainbow of meats. He goes, "Well, I get it. It's a catchy image, but here's my criticism." She goes, okay, I'm an adult. I can handle criticism. He goes, "Remember how you wanted to be taken seriously? Well, so does propane. So sure, a rainbow of meats would be fun for and great for a kid's bedroom, but we're looking to change lives here. Can you?" As a person who has painted a mural on my baby's wall, right? If it had just been meat based, I don't know how my children would have turned out.
You probably should have just instead of even drawing
Sex is
the meat,
vegetarian.
yeah, instead of even drawing the meat, you just get like cuts of meat and just like nail them to their wall.
Yum, boy. But
Sorry, let me rephrase it. You dip it in polyurethane.
Oh.
and then you put it
Okay.
to the wall.
So it's
you don't
kinda
want
like
rotted
that.
meat on your wall, obviously.
It's kind of like that thing that used to that art installation that used to go from mall to mall where you could see people cut into slivers.
Oh yeah, or what was that? I can't remember what the award ceremony was, but Lady Gaga in the meat suit.
Meat dress, yeah, yeah. She wore that meat suit. Did
She
you
wore
ever see
two
that
meat
thing?
suits that day.
Did you ever see that? Did you ever see that thing where people are cut into slices like that?
Nah, I really my kids are morbidly fascinated with weird
Yeah.
stuff like bugs and
Yeah.
decomposing things and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I eventually want to try to take them to that. We just recently went to there's a museum in Houston for kids near the Houston Zoo. It's called the like the Body Museum or something like that. But all that is it like has like it's kind of gross. I kind of thought it was really gross, but it's like a colon that the kids can like crawl through.
Yeah.
And then
All kids love
there's,
to go
like,
through a big
all
colon.
kinds of stuff you can look at in there. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what my 3-year-old was like. Let's be poop, and he's like, let's like take a picture of me being poop.
That's pretty funny. All right, so he says, he gets it. It's a great image. She says it might be. He goes, it might be good for a kid's bedroom, which I don't understand. He goes,
Yeah, I don't get that
now
either.
what we've got a lot to do with. He goes, we've got a lot to do in just 3 days until the fair, but build the grill, print up the pamphlets, fact check the pamphlets, design a char pattern. And that's just for starters. She goes, hey, I bet I could get some people down at the college to help us. I still know where it is. Great. Hank says, that's a great idea, Luann. I am officially designating you recruitment coordinator. Well, there's only 2 of you, but sure. And then from behind the fence, we see that all 3 guys are watching. So Bill, Dale, and Boomhauer are watching. Dale says, that could have been us protesting for propane with Hank right now. Gentlemen, we dodged a very boring bullet. Then you get old Boomhauer. He goes, I love old Hank, man, but they dang old talking about propane, man. How about talking about what I do for a living, man? And then Bill, he's like, poor Bobby being replaced by Luann. My dad replaced me with a TV in a bottle. That is one of the saddest things I've ever heard Bill say, honestly.
That's a tough one, yeah.
Replace me with a TV in a bottle. He goes, hey, we should let Bobby hang out with us. It seems like the least we could do. Now, when we ask him, try not to seem too needy. And if he says no, pretend like we didn't want him anyway. All right, so now we're at the student union, the big campus for the college. And there's tons of protests and there's booths out there. And Luann walks right up to the booth that says end globalization. So she comes up and she goes, wow, it looks like you hate everything. Do you think you could hate charcoal too? He goes, well, I think you could persuade me. And he's just trying to get on her good side, right? I mean, because he wants to get with this girl. Then comes a hippie comes in that, and when I say hippie, I'm talking about your stereotypical dreads and hacky sacks and cargo shorts and things like that, right? He comes in and he says, okay, everyone, let them hear it. No blood for, and then she goes, hi. He goes, oh, hi, hey. And then the guy's like, sup. Like they completely stop what they're doing. They're completely stop protesting because a pretty girl said hi. Next thing we see is all of them sitting in a circle. It's kind of like a drum circle or something, right? But she's sitting with them. She goes, now, who's ready to put on a serious protest with me and Uncle Hank? Like they know who the hell Uncle Hank is. And
everybody knows who Uncle Hank is.
One of the guys says, charcoal is murder. She goes, oh, that's good. And then the other guy says, dude, things that are murder is my thing. Smoke is murder. And then the other guy's like, no blood for charcoal. She goes, oh, Uncle Hank is going to be so excited. And then one of the guys says, Luann, this Uncle Hank, he's a real uncle, not another dude who's like your boyfriend, right? And then this woman that was sitting in the circle, she gets up and she's pissed and she leaves. She goes, you know what? I was the babe around here. I'm not going to become the mom. And so she takes off. Now we're back at the Hill House. We're in the garage. Hank is still working on this.
That's a good, hey, that right there is a perfect shirt, but it has to be like a long shirt and it has to have like Luann on there. And it says, I'm the babe around here. I'm not going to become the mom.
I'm not going to be the mom. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shirt.
So he's in the grill.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of shirt, is that shirt sold any more shirts?
Yeah, we've sold some. Sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Yeah, go buy shirts, guys. Yeah. Go buy shirts.
Let's see. Let's see if I can find that again. Hang on a second. Here is the shirt that's up there right now. That dang old money's like the wind, man. Only feel it when it's moving, man. You can go to Rogue Media Merch and buy one right now if you'd like. All right, so we're in the garage. Hank is working on the grill. She comes in again, and she's like, hey, Uncle Hank. He goes, oh, hey, Luann, how'd it go at the college? He goes, great. I got a team. They're focused and committed. I can't wait for you to see all the signs we made. He goes, no rainbows or smiley faces, right? She goes, Uncle Hank, we're looking to change lives here. He goes, well, all right, Luann, great job. And she's like super happy now, right? Because somebody's taking her seriously. She's leading a thing. She's being an adult. All right, we're back at the murder house, and the girls are going to try to get in again. And Peggy says, just follow my lead and get ready to gloat. Then the realtor comes out and goes, oh, you gals don't have jobs, do you? Like I said, potential buyers only. She goes, well, how's this for potential? This is Peggy. We will give you $200,000 over asking price. Yeah, I bet you didn't see that coming. Now show us the damn laundry room. And then Nancy, she's like, Peggy, what are you doing? Goes, relax, Nancy. We're not really going to buy the house. We're just going to put it in a bogus bid. The whole thing will fall apart during escrow. Do you think Peggy really knows what escrow is?
Probably not. If
there
she's
is
saying,
no friggin' way.
If she's saying I'll give you over $200,000 over asking price, I'm pretty sure that in order to, instead of the looky-loo thing, you have to put up money to be able to like. Yeah, she doesn't know what escrow is. I wouldn't assume. Yeah,
but she looks into the kitchen and she goes, "Hey, looky-loos, out of my kitchen!" And then, of course, the realtor comes over and says, "Of course, we will need some earnest money, which on your generous offer," and she pulls out her little calculator and she goes, "Boop boop boop," comes out to $15,000 and holds it up to her, and she goes, "Fine, drive me to the bank." So Peggy has literally written a check that her ass can't cash now.
Absolutely.
Now we're back in the alley. Now, instead of Hank, we've got Bobby, and then we got Dale, Bill, and Boomhauer. And you hear, yep. And then he goes, okay. So Dale says, so, Bobby, are you upset by Luann usurping your firstborn male right of prima grillitude? He goes, are you kidding? I'm just hoping she can throw a football, too, because then I'm home free. Bill says, that is a great attitude, Bobby. You know, we should have done this years ago. He goes, so I can see why you guys like this, but I got 2 weeks allowance in my pocket that's screaming the state fair. I say, let's go. And then Boomhauer's like, dang old good call. He goes, "You're as good as telling me what to do as your dad is." And so there they go. They're taking
That's
off.
probably my favorite line of the whole episode.
It
that
is a
one.
very good movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at the state fair at the grill off. And what amazes me is that Hank has been allowed to bring in his big ass grill and put it right on the other side of a velvet rope in the middle of the state fair.
Oh, yeah.
Not
I
real
don't
sure.
get it either.
I am gonna relax my grip on reality just a little bit so that I can accept this, but I don't think it's something that would happen.
Well, let's just say it's soaked in fire retardant just for
Sure.
artistic license or
Sure.
take an artistic license on that. Yeah.
So we hear Big Tex. Howdy, folks. Today, Clog Dancing Unlimited State Grill Off. The world's smallest hippo. The world's smallest hippo. I thought that was a really good touch.
That is a good one.
One of the other grillers looks over and he goes, propane, well, that's fine fuel, but ain't no match for a mesquite mix. Took my grandpa 19 years to get perfect. Hank's like, with all due respect, sir, it's not a fair competition unless all heat sources are welcome. All we ask for is an equal chance. He goes, well, a man can respect that. He goes, once my team gets here, you will get all the stake and information you need to make an informed choice. Then we get the protesters that start to come in. They're all wearing skull masks, which great start. They're all holding up signs. One of them says Heil Charcoal or Hail Charcoal. The other one says BBQ equals DOA. And then the last one says no blood for charcoal. And they're coming through and going, hey, hey, ho, ho, your deadly smoke has got to go. Cough, cough, choke, choke. Hank looks up and he's like, oh, what the? And then the other guy that he was talking to goes, oh, God, protest kids, get a job. And then we hear, hey, hey, ho, ho, propane is the way to go. And then here comes Luann. She goes, ready, everyone? Finger of shame. And then they all start pointing the finger at him and going, shame, shame, shame. And then she goes, oh, hi, Uncle Hank. Like right in the middle of this protest where they're trying to shame people and things. She said, hi, Uncle Hank. He goes, Luann. And then the guy he was talking to, the one who's actually in the competition, says, that gal is on your team? He goes, sir,
yeah,
I swear to you. And then here she comes. She goes, okay, everybody, die in. He goes, Luann, what? I can't. And she goes, isn't this great? And they all lay down like they're dying and choking on smoke and stuff. He goes, no, it's horrible. Didn't you hear a word I said? She goes, yes, I heard all of them. Look how serious we are. Jason is dressed as death. What is more serious than death? He goes, no, Luann, you're off the team. She goes, what? But I'm trying. He goes, I don't care what you're trying now. Get away from my grill. And then the guys start running after Luann. They're like, Luann. She goes, we haven't got her puke in yet. Luann. And so they all start running after her. Later, we're on a bench over there at the park, and one of the guys is sitting next to Luann, and she's just like crying. She goes, I really do think propane is great. It's a better heat source than charcoal. It just is. And he goes, I know what you're going through. She goes, I'm old enough to help propane by myself. I'll show him. I just have to figure out how and when. He goes, well, you got to do something big. You got to get his attention, like move out of his house. I mean, you could totally crash with me.
Yeah.
And then the hippie guy comes up and he goes, he's like trying to get in on it. And then you hear from Big Tex, Thursday night livestock show, free diabetes screenings. And then she says, I could crash with you or do something bigger. So she's looking at Big Tex. Now we go back to Hank. And he's like, sir, that circus did not represent propane. If you just give propane another chance. And then you hear from Big Tex, you hear Sunday night, salute to the pecan. Thursday. And then you hear squelch like a mic feeding back or whatever. And then you hear Luann's voice come over a loudspeaker and she goes, attention, Texas, charcoal is murder. Hank's like, Luann? He goes, grill with propane. If you don't use propane, I'm going to stomp on you. How do I move the legs? And then the protesters are like, taste the meat, not the heat. This is Hank's worst nightmare. And Hank goes, blah. And then we go to our second commercial break. And so having said that, we will be right.
And we'll be right back.
There it is.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farms, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Tervis is all about staying hydrated. Each product is built to last and comes in endless designs to match your personality. Stay refreshed and express yourself with Tervis. Visit tervis.com today and find your perfect tumbler.
Protect your online privacy with NordVPN. Browse securely, access content from anywhere, and keep your data safe with military-grade encryption. Whether at home or on the go, NordVPN ensures your digital freedom. Stay secure. Download NordVPN today at nordvpn.com. That's NORDVPN.com. Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Since 2003, we've been connecting buyers and sellers, providing access to sold-out events at prices lower than most secondary market options. Whether it's sports, theater, or concerts, our massive nationwide network ensures you get the tickets you want, guaranteed. For the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. That's TICKETLIQUIDATOR.com. Ticket Liquidator.
Texas. Oh, there it is.
Heart of Texas.
All right, we are back, and we have moved past 2 commercial breaks. This sucker is just steamrolling its way through.
Almost got her wrapped up.
So Luann is up in Big Tex. She's making all kinds of announcements that she shouldn't be making. She shouldn't be up there. Not sure how she got up there. She says, listen, Texas, our forests are dying to make charcoal to burn the flesh of the cows you've murdered. But there is another way. Propane. Hank runs over there and he tries to pull the plug at the base of Big Tex. And she just continues, just be careful who you trust. He goes, dang it. And then here comes the security guard over and he goes, yeah, we tried that. She's got her own megaphone. We can't do much besides wait her out. And then the poor security guy gets egged. He gets hit with an egg. He goes, oh, shoot. That's his first hit out of the dozen. Lots of times these kids don't even nick me. He goes, are you just going to take that? He goes, well, with all the lawsuits, I just say we got it under control. And then he starts getting egged more. And he goes, anyway, I have to ask you to clear the area. Like, this guy is okay with being pelted with eggs because it is his everyday existence at this point, which is super sad for this guy. He gets hit with more eggs. And he goes, I'm going to have to ask you to clear the area. He goes, well, I'm not the one throwing eggs. He goes, sir, please don't make my job any more difficult. Bunch of eggs hit him again. And then you hear this guy go, Babylon is going down. Take that, Herr Führer. And then from up in Big Tex, you hear, there he is, Hank Hill, who thinks he's the only one who cares about propane. Shame on him. And then all of them join in, shame, shame.
Hey.
She goes, that's right, run away. And then you hear, shame. All right. Then we see, we go over to Bobby and the guys, and Bill is on the bumper cars, which I'm not sure why he made that decision. Bobby's watching.
It wouldn't help his CTE any.
Oh, not at all. Bobby's watching and he's like, turn the wheel, Mr. No Tree, turn the wheel. And he just gets hit from all the sides. Then you hear Dale, Bobby, this is what it would look like if Boomhauer and me had a baby. And he shows this caricature of the two of them together that they got made. He goes, so what would she do now, Bobby? Can I have a fried Twinkie? Why is this grown man asking this child if he can do something?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So crazy. And then Bill is just getting hit by the bumper cars over and over and over. And he goes, hey, don't leave me. So poor Bill. Then we go back to Luann. She goes, so if we grill up the forest, where we're like squirrels supposed to live. And then you hear one of the guys down on the ground. He goes, Luann, courage. Can I get you anything, please? She goes, Diet Coke and maybe a sandwich. Oh, could you bring me up a bucket? I have to go to the ladies' room. So they're going to pull up a bucket for her to piss in, apparently. Now we're at the Arlen Bank and Trust. So Peggy has gotten herself
Apparently.
way in over her head. She's actually at a bank now, trying to get a loan for a house she'll never buy. And the lady at the bank says, Mrs. Hill, your mortgage payments would be 300% of your household income, which is what we in the business call a tough nut.
Tough nut.
Peggy looks at her and she goes, I'm gonna level with you. I just wanted to see the freaking laundry room. She goes, this is the Baxter Death Mansion? She goes, yep. And Miss Number One on the West Side, pointing to the realtor, thinks you have to be a millionaire just to get a peek. And they both kind of glare over at her. The banker says, I think we can work something out. So, like, she wants to know about the laundry room also. I think everybody just wants to know where this woman got killed. Or where this guy got killed. Yeah. And then we're back at Big Tex. And Luann says, I'm sending something down. And it's the bucket. And the guys are all, like, basically fighting over it. They're like, no, mine. And then Hank says, and you're sure this thing is loud, because he's over there talking to a guy about a megaphone, right? So the guy goes, how's this? And it's like super loud. He goes, okay, I'll take it. He goes, $55.99 over the loudspeaker. He goes, stop that. Then we're back inside Big Tex. All I can say is that she's in his head, right?
Absolutely in his head.
She goes, boy, it is hot in here. Where's my sandwich? And then from down on the ground, Hank's got his megaphone. He goes, Luann, can you hear me? She goes, yes. And he goes, then get the heck down here. You're acting like a complete jackass. And then over comes a cop. And he goes, sir, you're not authorized to negotiate with that subject. And then Luann from up in Big Tex's head says, this is my protest. Why are you against me? I was trying to help you with your propane. Hank kind of looks down. This is his morality moment, right? This is where he feels bad, and he realizes that what he was doing was stupid. And then up comes Dale. He's like, Hank, what's going on? He goes, it's Luann. She's ticked off at me, and she's commandeered Big Tex. I got to find some way to get her down. Oh, it's Big Tex. And then Bill comes over and he goes, well, maybe you should ask Big Bob. He's talking about Bob at this point, their leader. And Bobby goes, this is a lot like the time I locked myself in the room and wouldn't come out. Do you remember how you got me out? And Hank looks at him and goes, yeah, I put candy outside your door and told you had 5 minutes before I ate it. He goes, go for it, Dad. So Hank says, look, Luann's an adult. Treating her like a kid is not going to, oh, Lord. And then he looks at the cop and he goes, sir, I think I can get her down. He steps up on Big Tex's base and he's got that megaphone. And he goes,
and this right here, I don't mean to interrupt you before you do his whole speech. This this speech right here really shows that Hank's ability to grow and adapt and overcome emotional situations. He isn't his dad. So in this way, his dad would be like, yeah, I'm gonna burn you out and light it on fire or something like that. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
shoot out its legs or something. Yeah.
He would do something crazy and totally like irrational. It shows that Hank is a rational mind. Hank thinks rationally. He doesn't think one way or another. He just thinks, and what is rational? And it was rational for him to admit his fault, say, come on down here. I treated you like a kid. Now let's talk about it like an adult. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah, I like it.
That's right. Even Bobby knew it. You know what I mean? And so it tells you that he's passed that along to Bobby, you know, which is great. So he's standing on the base of Big Tex. He's got his megaphone and he says, folks, I sort of have something to say to my niece. It's kind of private. So if you could all put your fingers in your ears. Nobody puts their fingers in their ears.
Who would ask a whole crowd of people to do that, though? That's what's funny.
He goes, all right, fine. Luann, I understand why you're mad at me. You did something I don't agree with, and I treated you like a child, and that was wrong of me because I owe you a lot. But working with you is, you know, the whole reason I'm even here today. And even though I still think what you're doing is asinine, if you come down here, we can talk about it like adults. We get a big pregnant pause by everybody. And then Luann says, Uncle Hank, I'm coming down. And the crowd just cheers. And then one of the guys goes, well, this blows chunks. And he starts throwing eggs again. He goes, yeah, dude, you just nailed a real cop. He goes, oh, crap, run. Because they actually hit the cop this time, not the security guy. We're back at the murder house. And Peggy finally gets to see the laundry room. They look in it. And she goes, a front loader. Wow. And that's the entire that's
That's it,
entire
yeah.
payoff for this murder house. Now we're back down in the crowd, and Hank says, "Thanks for coming down, Luann." She goes, "Well, officer, I'm an adult now, and I'm ready to do what grown-up people do, go to jail." She like puts her hands out like she's gonna cuff her or something. And he goes, and Hank says, "Sir, I guess the two of us are in this together." And then the cop says, "I think my report is going to say that while we were busy with a violent situation, a non-violent offender walked off and we were unable to locate her. Come on, get out of here." And he just lets them go. Like he lets them just get the hell out of there, right? Hank says, "Thank you, officer." He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." He goes, "Miss Platter, I think we better get out of here while we still can." And she says, "Mr. Hill, I think you have a very good point." And Hank says, "So I have to ask, is Big Tex as amazing inside as he is from the outside?" And they're just kind of walking off together. And she goes, "Yeah, you think you're going to be really nervous because he's like Big Tex and all, but actually he's very down to earth, really like being inside of a regular giant guy." He goes, "Oh, man of the people, I knew it." And then we get our credits.
Yep.
Now, on this one, it's a little different because we got Big Tex up there. And during
It
the
is a little
credits,
different.
during the credits, we hear Big Tex say, "Howdy, folks. Today, steak grill cook-off, clog dancing unlimited, the world's smallest hippo. Howdy. Thursday night, livestock show, free diabetes screening. Howdy. Sunday night, salute to the pecan."
Salute to the pecan.
And then after that, after all the credits, we get Boomhauer saying, "Talking about no propane. And that is it.
Just to speak up pecans for a moment, I was actually, if you've ever had a pecan Snicker, I was actually a part of the pilot team that created and launched the pecan Snicker.
The pecan Snicker.
Yep,
That
I
is what
helped
they'll
with
put on your
the
tombstone, my friend.
research. I helped with the R&D for that, and I also helped create the. We also helped come up with how the process would work to make the world's largest Snicker, which is in the Guinness Book of World Records, and was used by the NFL. I think it was like an NFL thing. It was a commercial for the Super Bowl that they used the world's largest Snicker.
You would think something like that would just be CGI at this point.
Well, well, this is like we're not like
few years
years
ago.
back. But,
Sure.
Well, I don't remember when that was. Actually, to tell you the truth, the world's largest Snicker. I could probably find out real fast. It was just real weird to build because the machines can't make it. Like, so you have to. It was in 2019.
Well, yeah, I bet it's not there anymore either, huh?
Oh, absolutely not. No, that thing was hard to make to begin with. Yeah, it was hard to figure out how you were going to do it. We had to like
would
build
imagine.
it. And we had to like
So-
build the Snicker.
I want to number one say thank you guys for sticking with us. We're going to get more regular
Absolutely.
again. We'll do some more shows, and we have not stopped. We have not. It just every once in a while, life takes a speed bump, and so that's where we're at. But thank you guys for always joining us. We really appreciate it. Rusty, you want to tell them where they can find us?
Yeah, you can find us at BWAAAKOTH, and that's at all social medias. We would appreciate if you listeners would come to our YouTube channel and go to youtube.com/@BWAAAKOTH and go and watch some content there. Hit the thumbs ups and also like, subscribe, follow, share it to your friends.
One other thing, when I went on the other week and said that I had a project coming up, I just want to
Yeah.
let you guys know that I am still working on that. Here is the cover art for that. It's going to be crimes that only happen within cartoons, and we are starting with Hank
I like that.
getting accused of the porn tape. So that'll be our first crime that we cover, but it will be covered like a true crime show. And then the second one
Are
that I'm
you
working,
doing it? You got somebody you're doing it with, or you
no,
just
I'm
you?
gonna do it. Yeah. And then I'm working on a second one here where it's basically a haunted radio station, right out in the middle of nowhere near
Okay.
Marfa, but it is kind of Texas based and things like that. So be on the lookout for that. But if you guys could go check out Toon Crime, the trailer is out now, and just anywhere you get your podcast, it's all audio, no video to go along
Do
with
you
this
want
one.
do you want to play it on our Friday episode?
Yeah, that'd be great.
just-
I
we
can do
we
that.
can play the-
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah.
But that is it for us today, guys. We will be back again. Now this is a Thursday that we're recording this, so you might get 2 dropped right away. But either way, you're going to get 2 episodes, and we're back in the saddle. So we will We'll see you again next week. And I think that leaves one thing left to say.
Oh, Matanye.
We Matanye indeed. See you later, guys. All right, there you go. There's a Monday done on a Thursday.
On a Thursday.
And then, do you have anything for Friday?
A little bit, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's. I gotta see if it's on Instagram or not. I'm pretty sure I got a message or an email from somebody. I just couldn't remember where.
Go ahead and look that up, and
I
I'll
can probably read that.
let me see if I've got this trailer. Oh, there's Jared Reed. Afternoon.
Oh
to
yeah,
you as
welcome in.
well.
Welcome in. Welcome in.
You as well. I was in a box stop by earlier and said couldn't
Yeah,
stick
you
around to
did.
chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ghetto Cowboy sent me the picture for the shirt. So that's the picture that
Ooh.
goes on the shirt. That's Ghetto
Oh,
Cowboy.
hang on. Hang on one second. I'm not looking at it yet. Okay. Let me see. Shit. Oh wow, that's nice.
That's Ghetto Cowboy, but on his deal, he said that was the shirt idea where we had said, if you want well done steak, I'll get you beef jerky from the gas station. Yeah.
That's very nice. Very nice. Okay, let me see. How do I pull in this audio? You would think it would be on that, but maybe not. Hang on one second. Let me see if I've got it here.
No worries.
Boy, that gets stuck in your head, doesn't it?
It does. I sing it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I get stuck singing it all the time.
Well, I don't know what I did with it. Let me just grab it from
No, you're good.
Okay.
Kind of felt bad for all these hemp shops around town. They've got like 3 or 4 more days before they gotta get rid of all their stock.
No shit, right?
Yeah, all smokable products. So any of the concentrate stuff or any of the
Really
actual
sucks.
flour, they got to get rid of all of it. Well, the thing that really sucks is that it doesn't stop interstate commerce. It only stops it from being sold in Texas. So
Right.
it's
Right.
still legal to possess and legal to purchase. You just can't purchase it in Texas. So
Yeah.
you got to now it's taking. I would say billions, because more people are probably smoking it than are eating the edibles, because they allow
Sure.
the edibles and the drinks and stuff to still exist, which for me, I thought that was kind of backwards, because they said they did it to protect the kids or whatever. That's the whole like argument around it, is like packaging for the kids and stuff like that. So you keep the candy, you keep the drinks, but you get rid of the smokable product. So like kids are going to be able to eat and drink faster. They're going to be able to roll a joint.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if
It
this
just didn't make
works
a whole
real
lot of
quick.
sense.
Hang on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay, let's get this sucker started. I've got a
Afternoon,
couple.
Jared.
I got a couple of little articles here about some
go.
stuff, but that's about it.
Yep.
This one won't be super long. All right, here we go.
Stars at night are big and bright. Deep in the heart of Texas, the prairie skies are wide and high. Deep in the heart of Texas, deep in the heart of Texas. Deep in the heart of Texas. I don't think you want it. Think you want it. I don't think you want it. Deep in the heart of Texas.
To begin with.
Think you want it. Think you want it. I don't think you want it. Deep in the heart of Texas.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.